So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, geeks, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
As you can tell from the theme song or the beginning right there, I needed a little moment to get ready. I see Mo. You know, Mo, you were on twice.
Oh yeah.
That's why that's why you weren't on with us when we came in, because I was like, okay, wait a minute, something's wrong.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Technical difficulties so early in the show.
Kind of a boomer when it comes to this thing.
It's okay. It's just a writer.
But
A word
balloon guy.
No, you're like the Google Docs guy. You don't even put stuff in the balloons. We've established that.
Yes, folks, as usual, in the green room, you missed a lot of stuff.
Some highly controversial topics here. Some highly divisive subject matter.
All right, folks, let's do a fast intro so people know who you are. Katie, why don't you start?
Sure. I'm Katie. I'm one half of the Script Heroes podcast team. We're a weekly podcast where we cover comic news, industry blues, and book reviews. Me and my co-host Joseph are both writers, word balloon filler-inners, as has been established. And we like to bring that perspective to the books that we review and the creators who we interview. Thanks so much for having me on.
Love your rhyming there. That's a good pitch.
Great. Oh, yeah, that was great, man.
Amazing.
No, I can tell you're a writer.
You earned your chop. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Go ahead, Mr. Fish.
Man, after that, that's not fair, dude.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to sleep. I can't top that. None of us.
Yeah.
Can top that.
Hey, I'm Mr. Fish, and I got one wish: go back to Mighty Call. It's live on GoMrFish.com right now. I'm the writer and creator of this super violent love letter to Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, definitely.
And yeah, that's what I do. I make comic books for a living.
It's a good life.
All right.
Better than digging a ditch.
Brian, let's go with you.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the president of Shattermarecomics. I also make comic books, and brought my buddy on tonight, Morb William, who's one of the writers of an upcoming book that we have that's currently in development.
All right, Morb. I feel like that was your intro, so you can do your intro.
All right, yeah. I'm the writer, creator, and whatever of the Mercenary Guild, and go to themercenaryguild.com to sign up for our email list, and you will get a free exclusive trading card if you back the book by Luke Aglietta. It's all on there. themercenaryguild.com, one word. And thank you for having me on. I really appreciate this.
That is awesome that you were able to get that domain name without having to do like a .net or .org or whatever. Like you got themercenaryguild.com. That is amazing.
You know, you figure somebody would have had that one already.
Yeah, I was like, no, that had to have been taken since like the dawn of the internet, but nope.
Man, Mr. Fish was taken as soon as you could get him. As soon as you could get a custom.com, it was gone.
Oh, right. No.
I think
so
Mercenary Guild is taken.
Yeah.
So you just drop a "the" in front of stuff and you're good to go.
Even though "the's" not going to be in our
Mr.
title.
Fish.
Or throw a pro at the end. All my stuff is just Katie Markham Pro.
Because you're professional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
I get it.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, folks, life in creative world is an interesting thing where you got to navigate so many different things to get to where you got to go. And it's not even to get to where you got to go. It's just to get to the starting point to where you
Just,
guys.
just to get by.
Just to get anything going, you have to wear so many freaking hats, and my head is too big for any hat. It's frustrating.
Oh no.
That's a definite.
I have the opposite problem, and I have like a toddler-sized head, so I have to wear like children's hats. It's like a whole thing.
How cute.
You probably save a lot of money though.
No.
No.
It's just all bluey hats.
That much
I
harder.
love
to
Bluey.
find
I would
cool
wear
stuff.
Bluey hats.
So
Honestly, same.
It's a good show.
Bluey is a great show. Good writing.
My cat likes to watch Bluey, therefore
Oh.
my entire family loves to watch Bluey.
Oh man, you want to talk about writing? We could go there all freaking day long.
With Bluey,
Oh.
yeah, Bluey is like it's. I gotta say, I'm gonna like sing its praises for like the next 10 minutes, but it's like one of the few children's shows that's like not insulting to
So
children's
good.
Oh,
intelligence.
definitely. Yeah.
It's not insulting. It
For
doesn't
sure,
talk down, and it is legit interesting for the parents as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Like I hated Dora because it was so boring, but
Oh.
still I would get stuck. I would turn it on for my kids, and then I would look up, and it's been 2 hours, and I'm sitting there singing Dora right next to him. Didn't get anything else done.
Oh
But
my-
Bluey is actually good. Like I
Yeah.
Engaging.
enjoy watching that. I'm watching that after the grandkids.
The writing on that is amazing. Talk about writing, and these
Yeah,
people
it's good.
they're just writing to entertain the kids. They're writing
so
to get,
subtle and layered, and
Yeah.
oh.
And it gets emotional. Like there are times where I'm just like I can't believe I'm crying while watching Bluey. Like what the hell
Right,
is
and
wrong
it
with me?
tackles such heavy things,
Yeah.
but in
Mhm.
such like a beautiful and digestible way. And in like what, 5 minutes an episode? Insane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Amazing.
even like some of it that they don't even hit directly, but they hint to it, and like the kids don't know that like mom and dad lost a baby in there, but like when that
Oh my
balloon
God.
pops under the shirt
Yeah.
and he grabs mom's hand,
Yeah.
and the parents are like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
oh my
yeah.
god."
That's
And
such a little thing.
I'm like
you know?
tearing up all over again just thinking about
Oh, I
it.
got
See,
freaking
now,
goosebumps.
look
and it
what you
hurts.
did.
It's gonna make me
It's
cry
subtle,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Just
Yeah, but that's
That's why
beauty
these
of-
guys weren't brave enough to turn their cameras on. They didn't want everybody to see them. It's
Okay,
terrible.
yeah, they've
That's
got the
what it
Kleenex.
is.
They're going
I'm
at it.
I'm a real
Yeah.
ugly mother.
Dude,
Ugly.
it's all lighting, man. It's
Seriously,
all
I got-
lighting. I look
Mr.
like a
Fish,
wadded-up
would
sheet
you
of
believe
nothing
I'm
paper
too
with
attractive? Like my
I
camera won't
would
break.
believe it.
Oh
I
goodness.
would.
I'm a troll.
We're going radio style, classic radio voices.
I want to show my logo, which I
It's
actually
funny that
drew
you
this.
both say that.
drew
I
this.
jumped onto you guys talking before, when you went live, and I was like, "Oh man, this whole radio show," because everybody was just talking logos.
Oh, should we all just turn off our cameras then?
just not Ralph. If you guys want to go see my face, you have to watch my original appearance on the Written Writ. I do have a real face.
He does.
I remember
I was
at
on
one
camera.
point in time you called yourself a man called Horse because you had the horse as the
Oh,
logo.
yeah.
Like that's how I know you, Brian. You're the
Yeah,
man called
Yeah,
Horse.
sweet. I was this close to putting Horseman.
He
So-
can't be Horseman because Eric July took it away.
Yeah, someone stole my.
Oh no.
So I was, for a while, I became the man formerly known as Horse.
Mm. Oh, yeah. I mean, they'll probably make more money than comics, I guess.
That's where all the spicy covers are. Check out our OnlyFans.
That's where I got that big fat roll of ones, baby.
Nice.
The dinero, Robert.
Make
De
it
Niro.
rain. Make it rain. It's just throwing the same dollar and catching it and throwing it again.
You have a little string on it.
Yep.
Just pulling it back.
All right.
Ooh, there
We're
we
gonna
go.
start this off with you, Brian. You're gonna tell the people all the beautiful things about the fact of what you're working on right now. Go for it.
All right. Let me just take a sip of tequila real quick.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nah,
All right.
nah. Oh wait, no.
It's a late night show.
Late night, yeah.
Let me not get a copyright strike.
Oh no, would that happen? Probably.
Oh, it's supposedly it's a cover, so it shouldn't happen.
That's the OnlyFans, yeah. So yeah, we just oh man, I gotta update this because it's not the pre-order available now. The full issue is out.
Yeah.
All the pre-orders have been
I was gonna
shipped
say.
out as of today. Yeah. So yeah, we're on issue 9 of Hardly Heroes. Got a couple cool covers for everybody, for the folks at home. We got the typical cover A, cover B. We got some cool stuff we're working on too. So if you scroll up, because everyone knows about Hardly Heroes at this point, so we can.
I still love this cover.
I also do like. We have a handful of those left. At some point, I'm gonna have to go reprint the volume.
Dude, I made sure to buy that one.
Very clever.
And I like the fact that 9 kind of plays homage to it, and at the same time, it's a usual suspects type of thing.
Yeah. So what I did, if we want to look at the covers, I consolidated in the shop. Like it should be a smoother experience, so you don't have to go through like issue, like
issue
1,
8.
2, 3. Yeah. So if you go go to the shop at the top, yeah.
There we go.
And then I think it's just like just Hardly Heroes.
Now, when it came to issue 1, I got the special cover because I backed it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys had a special cover.
Yeah,
Special
for
OG.
issue 1.
It's like the anime boy band cover. That's what I like to call it. Yeah, I can show it to you at some point. This one right there. So
I see we got a spicy cover here.
Yeah, we got some spicy covers. I'm telling you guys, they're there.
Luke actually drew your spiciest one.
Yeah,
right?
he did a pretty spicy one. Yeah. So yeah, we got some art prints up there now. I'm starting to add stuff that we were just selling at shows that we go to. So this way, all of the people can get them now.
Also,
but yeah,
I mean, it helps when someone's at a show and they see like your sticker or whatever, and they go to the site and they see the same sticker or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, that's the guy! Yeah, I remember him."
Yeah, for sure.
It works.
Yeah. So we've got.
There we go.
Yeah, we did. So the Lucas Lemuc is actually a independent creator that we're publishing. That it's like a children's book that we did into a comic. So it's Lucas the Mucus and the Meaning of Life. So it's the meaning of life as told by a mucus membrane cell.
Amazing.
Interesting.
For the kids. And okay, yeah. So if you go to, let's see if it comes up on single issues. Scroll down a little bit. So yeah, just click on Hardly Heroes comic to the right.
Right.
Yeah.
That one.
The other way.
I'm Dominican, so you have to.
It's fine.
Everything is backwards below the equator.
I wasn't sure if there was like a delay.
I do that too. I get confused between.
Call this flush
left and right.
backwards.
Oh, I
right
do it
and
all
left
the
is
time,
switched.
yeah.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
I have dyscalculia, so it's like the numerical version of dyslexia almost, but it also involves not being able to tell left from right.
You basically just go through and fill out the form. So if you hit 9, and then you like. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. You can get through it that way.
Oh, that's fun.
I don't know in what order they're in though.
Wow,
See, like
really
that was
beautiful covers, man. Damn.
Thank you. Get some pretty good artists. I'd say.
I love the versions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, man, I just love the fact that this is your D&D game made into a book.
Yeah. So if people aren't familiar with it, Kyle and I, he's the head writer. We're in our original D&D group. We still meet most Monday nights. The DM has a little baby boy now, so sometimes we skip.
The bane of D&D groups.
Yeah, but in 2
just
years,
make a character for him, you rookie.
Exactly. Yeah,
Kids learn to read so they can.
My friend's wife, like, she played D&D since she was like 1.5. Like her parents were like huge D&D players. They made a character for her. The name was like Worf the Dwarf, and it was like the whole thing.
Worf
like,
the Dwarf.
Yeah, make a character for your baby. Like raise them right.
One of my kids
right,
thinks his math in dice in his head. It's funny as all get out.
You know what?
you go.
However it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could learn a lot of basic, like a lot of math principles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely, man. I feel like D&D gets into calculus sometimes.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, especially the 3.5.
Roll into Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, yeah. And from what I hear, Pathfinder 2nd edition. Oh,
I don't have the brain for Pathfinder. It is a lot of brain required,
Actually,
and the brain is like this big.
If you really want to get technical, Rollmaster was like the brain busting role playing game, and it was they called it Chart Master.
Wow.
But sound fun.
Yeah, but my DM was a physics major, so he
of course
dug it. So he was
It's like, okay, pull up your matrices. Let's say.
Oh no.
Kind of
No.
like that before Excel, folks.
No.
Before
Oh
Excel.
no.
I
Like
I
accounting.
quit playing regular D&D back in the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition with THAC0 and everything, and I've been homebrew ever since. I've been running a superhero RPG for 30 years, and
Whoa.
I love homebrew so much more because I can cut out all the nonsense.
That's
and
Luke's
just get it
cover.
down.
That's Luke's cover right there that you're pointing on.
Quite spicy.
There's a spicier version.
Yeah.
I believe it.
But yeah, if you I don't know why 9 is so. Scroll down a little bit, like to the rest of the drop downs, and then so select go to cover variant.
Too far.
Up.
Back up.
Up, Ralph.
No.
We
I
should
don't
do
wanna
like
go
a
To your
webinar. I should take control of your screen.
Oh,
Go to the cover.
variant.
There you go. So choose.
Well, whatever issue.
Click it. Yeah, and then or you want to see the B cover that you're talking about? Go to B, click B,
Okay, that's right. The B cover is my
and
favorite
then
one. Yeah.
cover option. Do the Virgin.
Virgin. Ooh.
Yeah, or full art, whatever. And then and then select
Start.
signed yes or no. Just hit no.
What
If
if
I
you
want to
want it signed?
Scroll. That's fine.
Oh.
I'm just trying to get to where it shows the art for the cover.
Oh,
there
there
you
you
go.
go. Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
If you
But
put
yeah,
your
so-
credit card number in,
If you would type that out slowly
Yeah.
for
Oh,
everybody.
also your
Your zip
SSN, your
code.
mother's
Yeah.
maiden name, the street
let
you
me-
grew up on.
What was your
Yeah.
dog's name when you were a kid again?
And let me screen cap. Let me take a screen cap.
I'm going as slow as I can, folks. Come on.
Yeah, so that was cool. It was like a I mean it's Usual Suspects, Guardians homage.
That's really nice. I like this. It kind of like goes back to the first issue with the puppet strings,
Yeah, and they get captured by the orcs. So now they're in the orc encampment. There's some interesting stuff that happens in this issue. There's like a guest appearance by another adventuring party.
Oh wow.
That's fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how long has your D&D game been going on?
Oh man, like I want to say in total it's year 6, and then for me it's like year 4 or 5.
Wow.
It's I cannot believe like I found a group of guys that we can consistently meet for this long. I mean, we're in campaign 3 now.
That's amazing.
So
yeah,
it's also
a group of adults who
Yeah.
can actually like convene in one spot at a dedicated amount of time.
And y'all
per
do it
week.
once a week? That's really impressive.
I was playing it in the 80s, AD&D, and we were kids. So every summer we'd be in the garage playing D&D or in my, in the backyard. Once we became adults and we were playing like Rollmaster and things like that, but we were in college, it got a lot harder. And then once we got jobs, it was over and people got married and
there's a lot of scheduling.
And
it's like scheduling is part of the RPG.
I miss
That's
it
part of
though
the
because there's a new
Girlfriends
system.
are the bane of D&D, man.
Yeah,
Roll
it's
for
it.
schedule.
No, get your girl to play D&D. You're doing it wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got
There
to
you
pick
go.
the right girls. That's
You got to
the thing.
seduce her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the girls who were into role playing games back then, you didn't want to date.
Didn't want to.
Wow.
Oh,
You gotta-
burn, sick
You got to pick the right
burn.
one because I'm here to tell you, there was some around my table. Mighty nice.
Yeah,
I
been one
see
game shop
somebody.
for
I'm gonna
There
bring
was
this up now because
yeah,
before we get too far away here. All right, guys, I want to play this game, and you
Ooh.
guys actually did that, didn't you?
Yeah, so Artisan Profit, you will be able to play this as a game in the near future. We're working on, so we're turning the comic book back into the module, or back into the game as a module for 5th edition. And so we have like a demo version, I guess you'd call it like a alpha or beta version,
Right.
that we run at certain events. Like, so you have like comic events and you've got like game conventions, right? And we have a working version of basically the equivalent of the first volume, I think. Like it runs through 1 through 6.
Nice.
So we just have to
Super cool.
Yeah, we just have to, we got to pretty it up so it's like something that we actually like to sell to people. Because I feel bad right now if I just sold you like a Word document.
Just sell
Not
the
even a
DM notes.
PDF.
Yeah,
Sell the DM notes and be like, all right,
yeah.
good luck. Do something with this. It's not my problem anymore.
Incomprehensible, just a list of NPC names.
it's like
some
slightly
vague
better than
occurrences. That's
yeah.
it.
Well, like because they're like notes. I mean, it's like a better version of DM notes, but there's still stuff that like I know the story inside and out, and like I was and Kyle played it, so it's easy for me to run it at the table. But if I just handed it to somebody, would they understand? Like we need to play test it more is what I'm saying.
That's like we were talking about before the show with editors. Like so many times,
yes.
the writer has the whole story in your head, so it makes sense to you. But unless you get somebody from the outside that's willing to look at it objectively and potentially hurt your feelings, like you don't know that it doesn't make sense to anybody else because you might have left out big things.
And that's
exactly
hugely, that's everything. That's everything. As a writer, you have to do that because I have read indie comics, and I'm not going to mention any names, where I'm reading the comic and it's like, this guy's in his own head. What's his motivation? What's this? Why is he here? Who's this? Who are these people? Oh,
yeah.
What the hell is going on with this thing? But to that guy, it made perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
Like,
yeah, because it's all headcanon. Yeah.
Or you base the whole character around him being, this thing. Like if he's hamburger guy who just loves to eat hamburgers and eats hamburgers all the time. And he mentions in one panel in the first book that he likes hamburgers, and then you never see another hamburger for 4 issues. Like, how is this dude Hamburger Man? If like
stop teasing me, give me the hamburger.
It's a meta commentary on how Batman doesn't have enough bats.
Exactly.
But like when you base the whole
Very
character
clever.
around being this, and then it's not, I'm like, oh, dude.
And you somewhere there you have to say, I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
If I mention what it really is, I'm calling the guy out, so I have to use something obscure. But
if you have a comic where it says failure is not what they do and all they do is fail in the damn comic, it's like,
I've seen that before. Yeah.
Unless it's like ironically their slogan is we never fail and then they fail all the time. Like
no, not in the world.
In the right hands, it could be entertaining.
But I'm not saying anything about anybody. Seriously, do not clip this. I'm completely ignorant. I'd have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
Totally made up scenario. Yes.
Yeah.
Just making it up.
Can't listen to him. He's just a writer.
Yeah.
He makes
stuff up for a living.
What Luke does is Luke draws things, so that I have to make it. I have to fill in the word balloons.
Exactly.
That's kind of how it goes.
Tate's like, no names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need any trouble.
All right, so that's Shattermare, right? So what's Mercenary Guild? Because I know you guys have been working on this, and you're not there yet.
Oh wait! Before that, I have another question.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, you got another question?
Yes, I always have questions. I'm full of them. I'm full of it. But
Good.
yeah, my question was: has the comic caught up to where you guys are in the campaign, or how much more do you have to go before you get caught up to the campaign?
Oh, not even close. Like
I was gonna say it. If you've been playing that long, it's got to be a ways off.
Yeah, the comic book is a pretty far ways to go, just for campaign 1. So then there's 2 and 3, and I think 2 might be longer than 1.
Sounds about right.
How many issues do you think it's gonna take to get all of like campaign 1 together?
I mean, based on our outline, if issue is about a session, I think initially when we did the outline, we were like, this could be like 90 issues, but it could be like 60.
So you're in it for the long haul.
Your sessions must be much more productive than mine.
My God, my sessions is always like someone starts a fight with the bartender, like we go off the rails, like someone's throwing up in a bathtub. It's usually me.
That happens
2 of my
a lot
kids
more in campaign 2.
for an hour about what the next move needs to be, and they would sit there and argue about it, and they enjoy that. but it ruins it for everybody else.
Oh my goodness.
That's why you got to find the right crew. Right.
That was
Unfortunately, they're my kids. So
that was D&D fourth. That was D&D 4th edition for me. Everybody arguing over, well, if we do this, we can shift and then and I got so sick of the word.
What's this 4th edition?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never
We
heard
don't
of
talk
it.
about that
Look,
here.
I gave it a whirl.
Gabe, what a world! You're making stuff up again.
Exactly.
It was 3.
I remember 3.5 and then 5.
Yeah, well, 3.75 if you include Pathfinder. Yeah, and then it was 5. Yeah, that's
Gave it a look. Just do.
And we don't talk about this one D&D nonsense.
Look, I learned.
Yeah, now we're going back to
learned-
D&D 1.
Actually, I found this system called Shadow of the Demon Lord, which is by Schwalbe Entertainment, and he worked on D&D 5th edition and was basically, a lot of his ideas were not incorporated. Mike Merles basically shut the door on him, but this guy also worked on Warhammer. So what he did is he took Warhammer, merged it with 5th edition. It's the best multi-classing I've ever seen in any RPG, and I've been playing RPGs since 1981. And it's Shadow of the Demon Lord, so it's horror fantasy, but he has but if you want high fantasy, he has a Kickstarter right now called Shadow of the Weird Wizard. So it's more, it doesn't have
I want that to be the title of my autobiography.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Weird Wizard, but it's by Schwalbe Entertainment, and he's got a ton of modules and stuff that are like $2 on Drive-Thru RPG, but Shadow of the Demon Lord is one of the best systems I've ever seen in 40 years. It's I can't say enough good things about it, but it does have a lot of, again, horror. If you're not into horror, then you're not going to like it. But he has a system coming out for people who want more D&D type fantasy, kind of similar to his rules. Based on
so many of the best RPGs,
and that comes out in August. It comes out in August of this year.
You gotta see if the website name's available though, so you can get the Shadow of the Weird.
Oh yeah, no, we're doing that right now.
Take the domain, and then if he reaches out to
right
you,
up from underneath him.
Could you imagine? He's like, "Hey,
I
need that, man. I'll pay you for it."
Oh yeah, trust me. I tried to get Go Fish, but it's taken.
It's a parked domain, I guess, which means someone has it.
Damn.
There's a very cute video of a cat on there, and it's very mesmerizing. But I'll have to click off of that so I can pay attention to you.
I have a question for you guys.
Or hear me out. We all watch the cat.
We could all just watch the cat and just put it up on the screen.
Don't tempt me. According to this, Tate is saying, is it weird with a Y?
No, weird. The traditional spelling, Shadow of the Weird Wizard.
But it's wizard with a G.
I found something.
Oh, the G is silent though.
I found something, but I don't think this is it.
Let me
see. What the hell did I type in?
Let's see. Shadow of the Weird. Here we go.
Oh, now it says not secure.
Robert J. Schwalbe.
Oh, so this is it?
Yeah, that's it.
This one says this Kickstarter went through already.
Oh, yeah, that made me
I think it's supposed to blew their goal out of the water. Jeez.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean that's how popular his first
4,000 backers.
Yeah,
his first thing was.
I'd take 400 at this point. Jeez.
True.
I have reasonable goals. I don't aim very high. I don't shoot at the moon. I don't even look at the moon.
But he did work on 5th edition, so there's 5th edition of certain mechanics, but it is much more streamlined. Anyways, check it out. Whatever.
More than 5th.
Yeah, I mean, and he has this cool thing called. Well, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna bog down the stream, but just check it.
Well, I have a question for the panel.
Talk about D&D all night.
Oh, you got a question for the panel. What's your question for the panel?
You guys, because I was thinking about releasing a version of the module where it is basically like a beta, and then if people get it, then they get access to the full version when it but release it on Drive-Thru. Have you guys downloaded stuff on Drive-Thru, or have you downloaded stuff on? Nice. Have you downloaded stuff though that's basically in development, or like the equivalent of early access?
No, I've developed stuff that's I've downloaded stuff from for Shadow of the Demon Lord. Again, six to 8 page modules for $2 or $1.50. He has one. This one's great. It's a level 0 quest called Dead by Dawn, and it's exactly what you think.
Nice.
It's exactly what he leans into it. It's Dead by Dawn. You're in a tavern, your party meets, you go upstairs, the guy's sick, and then he starts floating above the bed, dead by dawn, and fuck it, all shit breaks. I'm sorry about the cursing.
It wasn't Ralph this time.
You beat Ralph.
Yeah, it wasn't me either. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Players would love it. That's a great intro to the game. It's a levels. You start at level 0, so you have no class.
I have no class all the time.
That's it.
I have no class at all.
Yeah.
Got no classless. Mercy. I know you're going to ask about Mercenary Guild. So we are actually.
Nah, it's your imagination.
We're
making stuff up again.
We're thinking.
You can't pre-shill it, William. You gotta wait for...
No, but I remember 20 minutes ago he was going to bring it up.
All right, go ahead.
No, but we've actually talked about, Brian and I, of merging my group of idiots with his group of idiots, and like in some kind of annual or something. And
that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I actually came up with some ideas, but that's down the road. We got to get our issue.
Tell the folks about Mercenary Guild, William.
So Mercenary Guild came from, I was very involved in the early 2000s, late 90s on AOL role-playing games called Parthos and Arena. And so they were text, they were chat-based RPGs.
Yes,
and you would roll dice in there, and you would role play, and you would get experience points. And one of my characters was, in fact, a lot of these characters were kind of involved in that game because I played them all. So if somebody wants to say self-insert, I guess I'm guilty as charged. But they were all different characters I played. And then we started our own role-playing game called Borderlands, which I was going to name this comic, but I didn't want to get into trouble. So then we named it. So anyways, the blah, blah, blah. So when I got into that game, a lot of these characters that I played with, I didn't want to use. So I borrowed characters that I used from AOL and took on their characteristics so they couldn't sue me. So I used characters that I actually named and made, and but used certain characteristics to keep them, even though they were all different from one another. But it was a role play again, and I used the town that I drew because I helped create Borderlands. So I drew the map. I wrote about the town. I wrote about the background. I wrote the magic system. And then the guy who helped me create it, who took credit for everything, he just disappeared off the face of the earth in 2007. He's just gone. And so there's no website. I don't even think anybody even mirrored it or anything like that. But I took these characters and I just created the Mercenary Guild, which is what we were called. And instead of a dwarf, I created Bane. Malchus is actually the character I played, the walking wolf, rogue. And then Zeth is another character. He was my necromancer, and he's the intellectual. And then Nicole is just someone I made up because it was supposed to be this orc that picked his nose, and he was a druid shaman named Grobble Basha Hobbits Draga. And I said, well, I want to put a hot chick in a comic, so I'm just going to make up Nicole. So it's kind of where she came from. And but I kept the town, I kept the tone, I kept the darkness, and it just came to fruition. I used just, again, role-playing stuff from back in the play by post and chat room RPGs, and a lot. Again, these characters are mine, but they're different. I don't know, different voices, different whatever. Because
we get it. We've all played those characters.
So I am a trained actor, so I can step into other people's shoes and take on different roles, and that's kind of how I write. Is I actually step into the shoes of the character, but sometimes I'm going too fast, or I'm too high, or the music's too loud, or whatever. And sometimes I'm stepping in different shoes that I shouldn't be in, and that's where I run into trouble. But yeah, it's basically based on the AOL RPGs, Arena and Parthos, and characters that I created and who I knew, and some of the adventures. And we had a great time in those days before MMOs and things like that. Because you really,
I know exactly what you're talking about, because I was there with the AOL, and my Vampire the Masquerade group was on Yahoo Groups, and it was all written posts.
Yeah, and that's where you learned how to write, and that was the best part, is that if you because your role playing came from your writing, and if your writing was slack, sometimes you would get that criticism. Now, sometimes it was really harsh, like, what the fuck are you, a 13-year-old? And then sometimes somebody pull you aside and say, you may want to break things up a little bit. But there have been times, are you drunk? It's like, yes, I am.
You might want to go back to kindergarten and learn these again.
Drunk 13-year-old, what?
Yeah.
No,
back then I was.
And that's kind of how the game died, is that we would have young people come in and just get trashed by somebody who's in law school.
Yeah,
I'm serious. There was this
all
girl
who was one good writer to come in. Yeah,
she's in Yale Law School trashing a 13-year-old, and I'm like, I hope you feel good about yourself, for crying out loud. And that's kind of where it went. But I became a much better writer because I did find some friendly people, and I learned how to role play and learned how to write posts about how I learned magic and how I was able to unspring magic traps and I came up with all these theories and stuff that people said, that's smart, that's good, that's ways of manipulate, whatever. And the thing is that that's really where, and I would spend hours and hours and hours. I learned more off of the AOL about writing than I ever did in college.
Which is funny because people trash AOL so much, but it had its uses.
Oh, it had a lot of uses.
Yeah.
Well, and if like anything else, it's the experience of it. Like, I have drawn for a living my entire life since junior high, but drawing like an image every day for a t-shirt design or a logo is very different than the last 5 years I've been doing comics. And I'm drawing, 3 to 12 panels per page on dozens of pages over and over and over and over again all day. My artwork has jumped dramatically over the last 5 years, and I'm so much faster and better than I was because I'm just doing so much more of it. And in that case, all your communication was written, so it just has to make you get better.
Oh, definitely. You had to write everything. For sure. It wasn't role playing the way you guys think about it with the dice rolling. Even though there was dice rolling in the AOL, but that was part of the message board.
Chat.
You would put something.
No, but we played in a chat room where you had to roll dice, and the dice roll. It was / roll. Dash.
That's what I'm saying. The AOL would roll it for you.
Yeah, but you typed it out.
Yeah, you typed in the script, and then
it was just an RNG.
But I also became a host, so I had to come up with adventures. And
same thing here.
And so, like with Mercenary Guild, with Borderlands, rather, I came up with an adventure that blew people's socks off, and I'm going to do it for the book, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it is. I'm not even going to go there.
All right,
like,
so
the first 2 books will be a teaser, and then it's going to go into the history of the town and the evil that lurks there, and then you're going to find out. Period. That's it.
This is the teaser trailer, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's play the trailer and see what we're talking about.
All right.
Go horse.
Come on, horsey.
And this is basically like a D&D
All right,
adventure.
William, shut the fuck up. They're playing the trailer.
In a small, war-ravaged town on a remote island, an evil once thought banished still lurks deep within the land and is reawakening. In this slowly healing community torn between two factions, an outcast band of adventurers strive to rebuild their lives and make this island their new home.
Lobster.
As darkness encroaches upon the weary citizens, only the Mercenary Guild stands in its way. Join the guild at themercenaryguild.com to receive an exclusive Elven Sorceress trading card.
Not bad.
So it's definitely darker fantasy than Hardly Heroes.
But no, I don't know.
You don't know? I think so.
No. All of my campaigns have babies dangling out of windows.
Yeah.
That's an Easter egg. That's gonna be in every freaking comic.
Oh, for the cover B for Hardly Heroes, his name
Yeah.
is Ed Ergel. He's a North Carolina guy.
So I see someone in the chat is talking about Red Dragon Inn. So
Yeah.
we used to go into Red Dragon Inn on AOL and roll dice and just piss them off because that was all just role playing. There was no dice rolling or any like campaigns or like hitting things, or you just had to role play it. We had to do both in Parthos. So we used to go in there just to piss people off. I'm sorry.
That will freak me out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please buy my comic anyway.
No, too late. You put goblins in it. I'm out.
I have a soft spot for goblins because the first character I played, I gave him like an irrational fear of goblins. That was like a friendly goblin had like come up to the party, and I just like immediately beat it to death with my mace.
Wow.
What was the character?
I was a cleric.
Oh.
Cleric,
And
a
that
cleric
just
named
shows
Brother Wigglesworth.
the difference in the generations, because like when I was playing D&D with my friends, Dragon Magazine came out with a module where you could like turn monsters into playable characters, and goblins was one of them.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play a goblin character.
That's
and
fun.
Everybody was so dead set against it, they wouldn't let me play it because like a goblin can't be friendly. It has to be an evil monster.
Actually,
because this was like in the 80s and it didn't happen.
When alignment was really alignment.
Yeah. In Shadow of the Demon Lord, the initial classes are human, dwarf, orc, goblin, clockwork, and changeling. A changeling is a doppelganger. And clockwork is like a mechanized thing that has to be wound up. But goblin is like one of the main playable races you can be in Shadow of the Demon Lord.
Here's the thing. If you want to play a goblin, there's an astounding RPG system called Goblin Quest, where you and everyone at the table is played, and you have like just a pool of goblins because your goblins just keep getting murdered by their own idiotic shenanigans.
That's like peak goblin behavior.
It's peak goblin behavior.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow. So wait,
Weirdest system I've ever played.
you're like Overlord with goblins, and you just have
No,
like
no,
a
no.
million
You
goblin
are
army?
each of the goblins in your pool, but because within the system, it's understood that your goblins are going to just constantly die. You have to have like 6 goblins ready.
Oh my
so
god!
you
Can
just
you
get,
do
like,
like can it be like a Rogue Legacy type thing where it's like one goblin dies and then the other is like the descendant, and then there's like the other descendant and the descendant?
I'm the dread goblin pirate, Roberts.
You have a whole lineage.
Yep.
Just keep passing a little goblin mask down as you go. Yeah. Oh, look at
touch
that!
this
Oh,
cursed
whose is
object
that?
on the
That's an
bottom.
awesome looking can. That's an
Ooh.
amazing looking
Mr.
bird
Fish,
barbarian.
what is this we're looking at?
That looks like the Mighty Caw of the Cro-Magnon, issues 1 through 4. Available now at GoMrFish.com on Kickstarter.
8 days left.
Yeah, it is the Kickstarter for issues 3 and 4, but you can get all of them. You can get all of my back issues I've worked on. Everything's there in the add-ons. We just released brand new variant covers and stuff, and it's all very cool. It follows a bird barbarian from the planet Zion, where the Cro-Magnons are kept as slaves. He got thrown into the arena as a fledgling to die for the entertainment of the masses, and he survived. And he's been fighting every day of his life in the arena ever since, and it has forged him into the deadliest warrior in the galaxy. He becomes a star in all the holovids across the Empire, and pretty soon the rest of the Crow slaves get a little antsy and like, well, if he's the baddest warrior in the galaxy, why are we all slaves? And he ends up starting an impromptu slave rebellion and gets captured by space pirates, and that's the first 2 pages of the first issue. And it's just fast-paced action, kill the bad guys, save the princess kind of stuff. He runs into this awesome character who is my absolute favorite. It's the Kess from the clan Black Bear on the planet that he's now shipwrecked on, and she's based on a conglomeration of all of my daughters, and she's a beautiful badass that you wouldn't want to tangle with, and dresses far sexier than I'm comfortable with. But you know what? That's my daughters. So that's what she's based on.
They say right what to know.
Yeah, exactly. And I just love her because she takes absolutely no crap off of Caw and is always ready to turn on him at a moment's notice when he mouths off with something stupid. And it has been so much fun to work on. And I have honestly gotten to draw some of the bloodiest action scenes in issue 4 that I have ever done. And oh man, the stuff she does with that spear is awesome. It's really awesome.
Are you currently on 4? So this will catch you up to the series if you.
Yeah, issue 3 just shipped out to my Patreon backers last month, and issue 4 will ship out to my Patreon backers at the end of this month. They get everything first, but this is to do the print run for the big order, so that I can have back stock and everything.
The books are ready to go.
Yeah, I'm doing some finishing touches on 4 right now, but it's going to be ready by the end of the month to ship out, no problem.
Are they individual issues, or is it going to be like a trade? Okay, good man.
Yeah. Yep, they're all right there, ready to go.
Oh hell yeah!
You go ahead, show it off again.
And
beautiful comics.
Nice.
That's issue. Oh wait a minute, no, this one. That's issue 3 that went out. It had a Patreon only cover for my Patreon backers that was different than this one, but and it's got all kinds of fun stuff in there. Like it's got puzzles and mazes and stuff. Oh, I can't show that picture because that's too big of a But I really like just putting fun stuff in there. Like I'm trying to find it right now. At one point, Caw gets caught up in an explosion on this planet, and he gets rocketed through all these trees at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So we have a word search of all the sounds that he makes as he goes crashing through this. And let's see. I've got an open copy of issue 1
It's
here.
a good idea.
At the back,
but your own onomatopoeia.
At the end of issue 1, it's a maze of him trying to get through the ship that he's on to get to the bridge over here.
Nice.
And that's where we take off in issue 2. And so it's just, I like throwing that kind of fun stuff in there because I enjoy those kind of things. And if you back it at the physical tier and you back my buddy's comic, Colonel Jefferson, at the physical tier, then we're doing a mini comic that has 2 different stories in it. And one is where both of them are short stories that we did where our worlds crossed over. One he did where it's a bird barbarian that got sucked into the world of Colonel Jefferson, and now he's stuck working a 9-to-5 job as an accountant and starts a blood feud with Karen from HR because she jammed the copier. And then in mine, it's like a Last Starfighter ripoff where the evil king from this planet he's crash land on is looking for a hero that can save the day, and ends up getting Colonel Jefferson, who's a weird, loser. And it's so funny. It's so cool. And it's all like, there might be, a meta Hostess fruit pie ad in there. Like, it's just fun stuff, man. I like
Dude,
all that.
I just love it. It is exactly what it is. It's a freaking rated R Saturday morning cartoon. You know how that was, man. The action, the fun, the adventure. That's exactly what this thing is.
Yeah, like Thundar the Barbarian.
Exactly.
It's like, when we last saw our hero, he was being chased by the hellhounds of hyperspace. And then, and he's definitely a pull your arm off and beat you with it kind of guy. And, kills the monsters. And then, oh no, he's shipwrecked on a lost planet at the end of the galaxy. What are we going to do? Find out next month. And, then the next issue comes out. You can subscribe on the Patreon for just $10 right now if you get in right now, and you will get a book shipped to you every month, which seems ridiculous, but I am 11 months in and I've shipped out 12 books. So I actually do awesome. It. And I actually have a backlog of books that I can still ship out if anything happens. So like if I break my arm, I'm good for 6 months. So
knock on wood, that doesn't happen. You need that arm.
Oh man, I got so many books to make. Yeah, I got work to do.
That's a mood.
That's really good though. Like, man, every month.
Oh yeah, I've worked on, like, I was just counting up. I think I just passed 85 books since 2019 that I've worked on. And the vast majority of that, no, not much.
Wow.
Okay, that
the vast majority of that, I was the penciler, inker, letterer, colorist. You give me a script, I give you a finished book. And then like 13 of those were me doing everything for my own books. So, I've been busy.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Damn.
Part of it.
Busy is an understatement.
I have Tourette syndrome and ADHD, and I'm autistic, and my brain is all jacked up and my nervous system is fried. And things like, getting goosebumps hurts like 1,000 needles in my skin. And sometimes I can't walk, talk, or see. But with the jacked up nervous system, I work really, really fast. And I can get all kinds of crap done. Like, I will start working in the morning and my wife will be like, all right, remember, you need to go get the oil changed today. I'm like, yeah, as soon as I get done with this page, I'm going to do it. She's like, don't forget, you got to get the oil changed as soon as I get done with this page. And then she's like, did you get the oil changed? I'm like, as soon as I get done with this page. And she's like, babe. And I look up and it's dark and she's holding dinner and she's home from work and it's been 10 hours. And I'm like, oh, crap, I got to go pee. Like that's
always the first realization.
Exactly.
But like, I've just been, I haven't even finished my coffee from that morning yet. But I get a lot of books done.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So, Katie, let's talk a little bit more about what you guys do, because I like your podcast, and I feel like
I love the spiel. I want to subscribe to that podcast just for the spiel.
Go ahead.
So, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts. My friend Joseph and I, we started it back in November. We've been friends for a good long while. We were both in the freelance comic writing game for a long time there. And we had a book club going, essentially, where, every week we would read all of our pulls for the week. We'd compare a pull list, see what we had in common, and then we would read a big back issue of something, a volume of something one of us had been trying to push on the other for a long time. And we would just play video games while doing it. And we both realized kind of simultaneously, we've been doing this for like 3 months. I feel like maybe we should do something with it. So we put it together. Neither of us had ever done anything even remotely related to something like this. Luckily, Joseph is in film school, so he's got all of the video editing stuff down. So we sit down every week. We've got our polls. We look for news stories about the comic industry. One of the big things that people have come to know us for is we did I'm going to hesitate to say an expose video, but essentially looking into, if anyone remembers a few months ago when a lot of creators were coming out to speak against Scout Comics and the way that they were treating creators. We put a lot of time and effort into a video on that. We interviewed a bunch of creators from Scout. we reached out to and had very bad interactions with the CEO of Scout. It was
Wow.
I think
Can't
he was
imagine why.
trying to.
He wasn't in a good mood during that time. I find that suspicious.
Huh.
Right, but that's where I think we've grabbed a lot of people, and our secondary source is what I think both of us. Joseph couldn't stay or couldn't come in tonight. He's studying for finals, so wish him a happy graduation on Saturday.
Happy graduation!
Hooray!
Right?
Yeah.
He's joining us in the world of true adulthood. But we
0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Right?
Oh, God.
Adulting
my
is
God, I
bad.
miss school so
Stay in
much.
school is a warning.
Yeah, seriously.
I miss like public school. I miss being forced to be around people from all over town. It is
I
so
miss
much
nap
harder
time in
to like
kindergarten.
find other nerds and stuff that are into what you're into. Like the internet makes it a little easier. But
Mhm.
for years, I was just stuck with like whoever you worked with. And like your chance of working with an inker or a colorist was almost nil. That's why I had to learn to do it all. Like, trying to find another nerd was hard enough, much less, somebody that you could work with.
Remember when being a nerd wasn't cool?
Oh,
Yes.
throw after that,
Yes.
right?
My whole life, yeah. I
And then
remember.
suddenly
ago.
everyone
Yeah.
started playing 5th edition and nobody wanted to play 3.5 with me.
Exactly. They all wanted to play 5, and they go, Ralph, you're the DM. You should learn 5.
Like, I'm sorry, you don't need a calculator to play yours. Get out of here.
Oh man, I remember when admitting that you ever played D&D was social suicide.
You get beat up
For
man.
a long time.
I got beat up
when
enough
I went
times
to
for the
high
comic,
school.
for the D&D, for the
See, that's your problem. What you need to do is be twice as tall as everybody else. Worked a charm for me.
Yeah, you gotta
People might look at me funny, but they wouldn't do nothing.
gotta beat other people up for talking
There you
shit
go.
about D&D.
I don't know.
Beat up
I had
the
a
nerdy
nice
jocks.
happy face, so people thought that I was a pushover, and then when I beat them up,
Still had a happy face.
Surprise!
It's the old fat
Put
ball.
on a happy face.
But
Yeah.
no, we've
man.
been absolutely
I had a gym
delighted.
membership when I was 14, so like
There you go, getting games.
and I was playing ball and wrestling, so like if somebody came up and talked about D&D, it was like I would usually pull them aside, be like, dude, can we just chill out on the Monster Manual 2 a little bit? There's chicks around, dude. Just we'll talk about it later, man.
We'll talk about it later.
Cool. Yeah.
But they added the cadaver collector.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Katie. You were saying?
Yeah, we have found some wonderful nerds to bring onto the show. Both Joseph and I love to do interviews with creators. That we've pulled people from the indie community, from the Kickstarter community. It was awesome. We got to talk to John Layman, who's done Batman work in How We Fight with Image. We talked to the team behind Bear Pirate Viking Queen, which just came out last week. And it's just been great being able to surround ourselves with such awesome nerds in this podcast. And of course, the people who listen are wonderful nerds themselves. And it's just been great. And we're currently pooling for round 3 of interviews on the pod. So if you guys want to come on to talk about your books on our show too, absolutely.
There you go.
Send us a
I will
DM.
hit you up. Absolutely. It sounds like a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Careful
Yeah,
what
it's
you
a great
wish
time.
for.
Dude, if you guys go to their Instagram and you get they put out little snippets of their show. It's an interesting listen and watch. So go ahead, go to the Instagram and you can check it out.
So do
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
have
Instagram.
do you guys have an episode on the Scout Con? Man, I want to dive into. I'm so glad you did that. They're near and dear to my heart because they're in Florida, and I also talk to a lot of creators that deal with them. And oh boy, like I would love to see this if you guys did an episode on this or like an
the
article.
problem is that Joseph and I are both we just both geek out about things so hard that like 2 out of the 4 weeks of the month we'll also throw up a bonus episode on some weekend day where we're just like, this is something that we really wanted to talk about. So we're dedicated something to that, and Scout Comics was one of those. Gosh, I think it ended up being like 48 minutes or something like that. Our wonderful interviewees, we gave them the option to be anonymous, of course, because Scout Comics is, in terms of compared to creators, heavy hitters. They don't want to blacklist anyone. So all of the interviews are anonymous and stuff, but it's really, I think, and other people have told me that they also think it's a very well done video that really jumps into things. We tried our best as creators ourselves to be unbiased and give Scout Comics their fair shake, and yeah, it's probably the thing on the channel that we're both most proud of, and definitely check it out because it is aggressively informative.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
need to
great
hear
that you guys
that.
did that. Yeah, I got to go back and listen to that for sure. Like,
Oh,
there's a
absolutely.
weird atmosphere in
Mhm.
Florida surrounding them because of exactly like what you said. Like it's very cliquish. It's almost like a mafia kind of
Mm.
thing where it's like you can't talk about these guys and their practices, or like you get blackballed and you get pushed out of their club. But at the same time, it's like I want to pull these people aside and be like, why would you put up with this stuff?
Mhm.
Like, why would you put up with the stuff these people are doing? Like, I don't know, not getting paid.
Yeah, the sad part is
what are
like
you doing?
self-publishing on Kickstarter will probably still pay you better than like any publisher unless you
Oh,
like
yeah,
super
and
duper luck out.
the thing
Oh,
is,
yeah.
so many of the creators who we spoke to and ones that we didn't speak to, their books actually started as Kickstarters. And Scout would come
Yep.
in and say, "Hey,
And they
we'd like
scout
to
'em
publish
out.
your book," and then get it into stores and stuff. And then they would do very little to actually support the creators when they did that. It was a whole mess. And I'm glad to hear that many of the people who spoke out against Scout have gotten the rights back to their books because so many of them were just
Wonderful.
creator bones, right?
Yeah, because
Really
they take sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Hey, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, so yeah, I don't know if it's probably not common knowledge, but like you're saying, they'll take like a hefty share of the IP. Like they own the IP.
Mhm.
It's not just
Wow.
it's not just like a royalty.
Not
but
just
they're
publishing it out
representing
for you. Like,
right.
yeah.
And
Yeah, especially
so
because Scout does a lot with like trying to get stuff made into TV, into movies. They try to break that bridge,
yes,
but that means that they've got their stranglehold on your IP.
right. And but then they're not doing anything with it because they're
Mhm.
just churning through as many people as they can to just throw everything at the wall of Hollywood or whoever their connections
So
are.
much money
Like
they can make. Yeah.
Mhm.
right, and get stuff optioned, and so but they'll also use that as a sales gimmick, like
Yeah.
a tactic, like, oh hey, come with us and we'll
Yeah,
take
we've
you
got
to
all
the
these
moon.
connections. And
Yeah,
that was
but
one of our main motivations in making the video is because we had both previously talked about pitching books to Scout. And it's like we want, if someone is going to Google Scout Comics, we want them to have this information ready for them so that they know what they're getting into if they decide to
yeah, you at
pursue
I
least
love
need
something.
it.
to
I'm happy
need
you
to
did that. Yeah.
know.
The people need to know because there's so many people who are still kind of like starry-eyed, like, oh, I want to get with a publisher. I really want my book to have a publisher, but it's like a lot of the publishers nowadays are just really shady.
Oh,
Mm.
Like,
definitely.
just you're better off doing it yourself at this point.
Exactly.
And
That's why
I mean,
Mana
yeah,
Source-
working at that
yeah.
kind of
Yeah, and speaking
scale
of getting rejected
doesn't
by
pay
every
well.
single
No,
publisher and doing it
That
yourself.
publishers fucking screw you 6 ways
yeah,
from
fuck
Sunday.
those guys.
So you got to be like
No,
Mana.
but
You got to do everything by yourself.
yeah, well, I mean, it's a trade-off, right? Like you need to definitely go in with your eyes open and know, okay, well, what am I giving up and what am I getting in return? Like I'll be honest, Shattermare, I mean, I'm majority owner, I guess, so I'll just say I own part of the IP for Mercenary Guild. Like I'm not gonna, I wouldn't hide that if people asked.
Yeah.
And so William and I have split that. However, I'm dedicating to putting this book out and selling it to people. I'm not just gonna
I'm
say
majority owner, so he can't
and
change shit.
also right.
Nice.
Also, bare minimum, William owns the majority, so anytime he can say, "Hey, Brian, fuck you. I'm not doing this or that." Like, I can't. I can just help him sell his book and make money, essentially. But also the thing is, I mean, William, how many times do we get on art calls and meet with everybody and like we work directly together, to develop the
Well,
book.
every
It's
2
not just
weeks, every 2 weeks, at least. I don't know if this week is going to work for Luke because might as well throw this out there. Luke's on a art stream with Red Valkyrie on Saturday.
Yeah, he is
from 1 to 4 Pacific Coast time, and he has several prints. I saw his pencils on Gambit. It's unbelievable, and he's going to be auctioning off some of his work. I mean, we can definitely try to do a meeting or work around it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we have scheduling issues, basically.
Yeah.
But the point is like we work directly together. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And if there's someone who came to us and was like, "No, I pretty much have this. I have the story." I'm like, "Okay, great. Well, if you come to me with a fully like for the equivalent of what Scout is doing, where they like no pun intended scout out people that have successful Kickstarters and stuff.
Mhm.
If I was to publish them, I would not. It would be a royalty thing. Like it wouldn't be an IP thing because I basically have no involvement in the book. The book is done.
Right.
Right.
So the only thing I really need to help you with is, do you want someone to help you promote and sell the book?
Yeah.
Do you want someone to help you print the book? And then like there's a couple of other small, essentially like, you know, self-publishing, which is what we did with Lucas the Mucus. Like I don't own any of that. That's totally creator owned. So yeah, to all these people that are looking at Scout and like, oh man, could they help me like go to the moon or shoot for the no, they will not. Trust
And
me,
for-
like, they
for what I
will not
want-
do that.
From what I understand of like Alterna and Pizza Medi, I think you need to come to them with a finished product.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's the classic like image. You know, like it's creator owned. You own it, but then you have to produce.
Exactly. You got to come in.
That's
with
the
it.
expectation. Yeah, come with a final product, and then they're happy to like get you in a diamond, you know, market your book, that kind of stuff. You know, try to get you into conventions, like stuff that actually is beneficial to people.
Right.
You know, but yeah, this like, hey, we'll promise you everything, but don't read the fine print in this contract because it says we own your stuff, and then we don't actually have to be responsible for it. And then when we sell like one issue of your book on Whatnot, and then move on to the next person, that's the next flavor of them. So maybe
that's essentially what happens though. Is they do hype
Yeah.
up like the first issue, but then after that, you're kind of like
Yeah,
you're on your
you're
own.
on your own.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that's if they even hype your first issue.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too, because
They
that-
gotta have a
not happening.
stake in the game. They gotta have skin in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Brian
That's
has
what
skin in the game, and he's gonna have to do work after it's printed, fulfilling and shit like that. Because I ain't doing that shit, man. Dude.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
so
and there's
you know he's gonna have work on the back end. Right now, I'm writing the check. I wrote the script, writing the checks. We're doing editing as we go along. We're not gonna. Okay, Luke writing it, you know, draw an entire book, and it's like, oh, on page 13, it really sucks here. He's, you know, and blah blah blah. It's like, you know, we're pacing ourselves, and we're on page 15 of a 76-page book, so it's going to be a little bit, but we did get all the stretch goals as far as cards, and I'm going to hopefully have Jimmy Reyes do a variant cover, and we have a poster, and so a lot of that, you know, side stuff is done, and promotional stuff and trailer and things like that is kind of off to the side. So now we can really focus on the actual comic. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's an untapped growth potential in indie comics for people that aren't necessarily writers or artists, but like if you've got the skill set to like be organized, to get stuff done, to make sales, things like that, I think there's potential out there because like I could really use somebody to help me out with that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like everything I've heard from all my friends that have gone to any of the lower end, you know, publishers like, you know, Scout and Antarctic and things like that are like, they're making like hundreds of dollars, you know,
Yeah.
when you can make, you know, a couple thousand on Kickstarter without too much trouble.
Yep.
And,
Exactly.
you know, but like, I definitely wouldn't mind sharing a percentage of that with somebody that was able to take some of that off of my hands. Cause like, you know, doing it all is freaking hard. You know, if I just had to write the book and then sell it, okay, that would be easier. But selling it, packing it, shipping it, running a Kickstarter, setting up a Kickstarter, going on TikTok all the time to be a dancing monkey so people will look and they'll go buy my books from the shop.
Oh, you call it
And-
Dancing Monkey too. I knew
Yeah.
I liked you for a reason.
I mean, it is so freaking much to try and do. and then like, I also need to be working 16 hours a day to crank out books. So like it's a lot,
Yeah.
and man, I have tried bringing on a couple people that, all talk a big game about how much they can help you out. And then, trying to find doers that can actually do it is tough. You can find lots of people that say have big ideas and can talk a big game, but finding people that actually, can put the effort in and get something done, man, you can find people like that.
Yeah.
I'd say
I feel
hire
like
them.
there are people who are more enamored by the idea of being a doer than actually doing the do.
Oh, definitely.
100%, yeah.
Speaking of which, Nana, why don't you tell us about what you've been doing?
Oh
Because you
God.
do it all yourself.
Yeah, the thing that's been depriving me of sleep, aside from my cats. So yeah, we are on issue 7 of Sacrimony, A Tale of Love, Life, and Death in no particular order. It's all drawn, written, everything by me because I don't know why I do this myself.
Because you have to.
Because I have to, and also because I'm kind of a control freak.
You can.
So like,
And you're talented.
oh, thank you.
Yeah. We can't draw. I mean, I should say we. I can't draw.
You could mean it like the royal we, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I agree with the we. I can't draw. I do great stick figures. That's it.
We, the writers, are very impressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the story of a girl who died, but then she got better. And as with all mysterious resurrection stories, there's a catch, and the catch is that she has no memory of her past, no idea why she has magical powers, or why she has demon wings that she now has to hide from society. And I guess the best pitch I could say is it feels a lot like Saga, but like not in space and if the parents hated each other. But it has that same sort of vibe where it's not necessarily about like action, adventure, and saving the world, but it's more of like how do these characters exist? How do they cope with like the bad hands they've been dealt? It's a very human story, despite it being about like very fancy looking gods ruining the lives of mortals. Like it's very down to earth.
Cool.
And there's also some original art up for grabs that I have here. This is going to be one of the covers, but this is a watercolor painting that was also done with marker and acrylic and whatever else I could get my hands on.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. There's
That's
also
very nice.
some glitter to accent it and make it a little shiny. Shiny. But yeah, this is one of the covers, and I'm also selling the original piece because I am terrible at keeping my own artwork. Like this will end up like crumpled up in a folder somewhere, so somebody please take it away from me and give it a loving forever home.
My wife
There's
backs
also
all my
stickers. The
There is also
stickers.
stickers.
Stickers by an important person.
Yes,
could
there
auction
will
it.
be. Too many voices in my head and also on the headphones. Yes, there will also be a free sticker done by the lovely Floopschmellow, and that will be free for every physical backer. So go physical, get free sticker, also get a pretty book with a very dramatic, sad, depressing, but also sometimes very funny story. And yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Looks
Got
good.
me so.
So you're on issue 7. Do you have like story arcs going on, or is it just kind of continuing going? Are we still in the middle of an arc?
I do have story arcs going. It's like every there's the sticker, by the way. But yeah, every 5 issues kind of wraps up a story arc. So I've got a trade paperback version of issues 1 through 5. Let me see if I can grab it real quick here. Oh my god, why do I store all of my things so poorly? This is just awful. Look at the sticker meanwhile though, isn't it cute? But yeah,
very lovely.
So yeah, I've got this like heckin' chunker of a trade paperback of
Oh,
issues
man.
1 through 5. It's 184 pages because I make my issues like really long. They're like 30 pages each, and I threw in like some bonus
Nice.
material. But like
You don't feel it when you read it.
yeah, it's a very easy read, and there's like lots of things that happen. People get set on fire. People get stabbed
Quickly
in the
screenshot
face.
each page as it goes through.
Go ahead, I don't give a shit.
It's thick with 2 C's.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is incredibly thick, and yeah, it's an easy read because I don't like being like pretentious with my wording or anything. Like the characters talk the way that people would normally talk because who the hell writes otherwise? So yeah, it's
I hate it when I get overly critical grammatical corrections from an editor on like casual speak between two people. And I'm like, but that's the way we talk. But that's not grammatically correct. I was like, of course it's not, because it's the way we talk.
This character was raised in a town in Iowa. They don't know how to speak.
Like, this character was raised by rats. Give me a break. Like, come on, seriously.
Squeak, squeak, squeak 'em.
The way I edit my own dialogue is I'll read it aloud, and if it sounds if it sounds natural to me, like we're good. If it sounds unnatural, then we got to change it.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like the character's a pirate. They're not going to be like, well,
If you
yes, I would like to go and do a plunder upon that ship. Like,
Remember that all pirates were originally commissioned by the king and queen in order to be privateers, which is why we got the name pirate. So they're actually highly educated.
Well, the characters are first
you're gonna mess with the words.
Not the ones who were Shanghai, though.
Yeah, the privateers or the pirates.
Just think about it. If you're gonna hire a bunch of people to ride on an expensive boat that your country spent millions upon millions of dollars to build, are you really gonna put on low class people on there?
No, but like
just some food for
biggest biceps.
What about the
if he has an
Raider
anchor tattoo, that's his green flag.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Blackbeard pirate.
Blackbeard is highly educated. I hope you know. He was also commissioned by the Queen of England, and that's why he went on a rampage when the piracy ended.
You did.
I just like being able to be drunk on the job as a pirate.
Arr! Being drunk on the job and getting the booty.
So wait, are all the R's and the Ers and the weird accent? That's just like a.
That's propaganda.
That's just how British.
That's Hollywood.
No, that's propaganda.
Yeah, that wasn't even a thing until.
So most pirates actually spoke the way how William Shakespeare writes.
Yeah.
So incoherently, but just in another way.
Exactly.
I can't believe I've been misled this whole time. Damn you, Disney.
I can't believe mass media would do
I
this.
played Disney.
How dare!
There were some lower class people who were forced into it, who weren't educated. And
what about like the guy making the food, or like what are the janitors?
They could be easily controlled.
Exactly.
Like the guy who mopped the galley. What about that?
The guy who swabbed the poop deck.
Let's put it like this: most of them ended up writing down their logs because they needed someone to write their log, and if you weren't capable of hoisting up a sail, you were writing down what you were doing.
I don't know. I've seen pirates, and they all have hooks for hands. I don't think they were.
Yeah, how do you write? How do you write like that?
Explain that.
You dip the hook.
You have
in
a
the
quill
ink, I guess?
attachment. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh, my camera's
you gotta improvise.
not on.
You gotta make it work.
It's a whole separate attachment. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
All right, our friend Vaughn wasn't able to make it today, but you guys got to go check out Phenomenova.
Cool name.
It's
always get stuck on that one.
Beautiful looking book.
It's a beautiful looking book. He is doing fantastic. He is on Fund My Comic. I think it's Fund My Comic.
I did not even know there was such a thing called Fund My Comic.
Fund My Comic is dope.
It is. It's been out for a little while.
FundMyComic.com.
Wow.
Brian Baugh just put his Wolf and Batsy 10 through 12 on there. He broke away from Alterna, but Wolf and Batsy is one of my favorite indie comics going. It's so much fun. And that's on Fund My Comic as well.
I play the video so Vaughn can tell you, or I guess the video can tell you itself. Let's see.
Yeah, let's check it out.
When the whole world was dragged into World War III, brave men like my father fought on the front lines. And they weren't alone. That was 20 years ago. Now it's up to us to carry on their legacy. And every so often, the earth from which we come gives way for something new, something greater to be born. and with them, even greater threats to face. Bring it on! Phenomenal.
Look at that. I put the video on and
there he is.
I
Summoned him.
swear,
He has been summoned.
I
Amazing.
swear to you, that was not planned. I'm sorry. I intended to come in earlier. My interview went way too long because I ramble.
I can't believe it. It could not be true.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys could tell. I like talking, but it turned out my the other guy who I was with also liked talking, so it was a long show. Anyway, I'm sorry, I missed all that, but
Well, you came in at the right time, so you can tell us a little bit about what we just saw. Go for it.
okay. Well, so I'm going to assume you saw the full trailer because
Yeah.
So Phenomenova is my comic book set 20 years after World War III and follows the idealistic son of a war hero who is struck by lightning while holding a mysterious crystal, and he finds himself awakening with lightning powers and super speed, and he wants to use those powers to make the world a better place. But he finds himself in way over his head when he attempts to intervene at a heist at a nuclear reactor, fighting a supervillain that's totally out of his league. I wanted to do a callback to the superhero stories that I love. And in an age of constant, deconstruction and just everything's depressing, I wanted to do something that was uplifting and something that really brings back the spirit. It's a reconstruction and a reconstitution of the genre I love so much. It's a 64-page first issue, 64 stories, 68 total. There is a fan art contest, and the winner will get their piece published in the book. I want to do this an ongoing series. Phenomenova is going to be the name of the team he's going to be joining. The main character is called Galvanite. But I really wanted to focus on, I think too many books throw way too many characters to start with because they want to get all their ideas out. I wanted to focus on just one. And so I hope you guys like it.
It looks beautiful. The art is fantastic.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty well, which is great.
Yeah, and there will be launching a Kickstarter as well because I know some people. I try to get everyone I can, but right now it's on Fund My Comic, which is a smaller platform, but it's nice. And what I like about it is I can just talk to the guy who runs the site and be like, "Hey, someone has a problem." Whereas I hear that on other ones, especially because they're so big, you have to wait. There's so much, and being on a smaller platform, it also brings more of a sense of indie community. But either which way, it's
you get like technical support.
I mean, those
on
those
Fund My
quotes,
Comic, you just get Luke Stone.
Luke Stone's great.
Yeah,
you got those quotes by Irene and Billy, and that's huge, man.
Oh yeah, they're very good friends of mine.
They do great work. I love what they do.
Yeah, Rini did a cover for me. She did her variant cover. It's not colored yet, but Rini did a variant cover, and it's selling very well.
Nice.
And then Billy, I was just hanging out with last weekend. This past weekend, I was hanging out with him at Free Comic Book Day. Billy's a good dude. And I asked him for a quote, and he did not disappoint. He's a good man. Very good man. So yeah, I felt like, to stroke my ego a little bit. People have said nice things about me, because no one knows who I am. Well, these people know who I am, and that's what you got to do. So
I heard from another Luke, death metal hero, because he.
I love that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to. He's the artist for Mercenary Guild with Flynn.
Awesome.
My artist.
He said that.
My artist. Yep.
I heard that you and Irene are going to be at Heroes Con this year.
We are. Yeah, I'm gonna be shilling some stuff, standing by her table. Really capitalizing on the fact that she did a cover for me. But yeah, I'll be there. I was there last year too. I was working at the con last year. I was working at Michael Golden's table, like being an assistant. So yeah, but this year I'm gonna be there. My book is not gonna be out in time, but it should hopefully be out not too long after, like give it a month or two, hopefully. But you know what happens when you make a plan.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, you gonna be at Heroes?
Yep.
All right, we'll hang out then. We'll hang out.
It's gonna be I'm excited to meet you guys.
It's gonna be a great
Luke's
gonna be a great
there.
Luke Stone's going to be there? Oh, Luke Aglietta, right.
Luke Aglietta.
Yeah.
Luke Stone might. He's up in Indiana, I think. He used to be.
All right, I'll bother Luke Stone.
Yeah,
I'll
if
see.
he's
I'll
there,
see
yeah,
what
we'll
I
go
can
there.
do to see if I can get there.
You got
Awesome.
to,
You
man.
should,
Then we'll
man.
have the whole team.
That'd be a good meetup.
It's yeah. Not only is it that's one of the things too. It's not only if you're not selling anything. Cons, especially if you know there's a meetup, go. It's good marketing. Even a free comic book day, it's good marketing.
yeah.
Even just hanging out with people afterwards, they'll remember you. They'll know your face, and then they might be more likely to back your book or at least talk about it or say good things about you. And that goes a long way. There's a reason why Billy, because I didn't know who Billy was until he treated me very well at a con. Some guy who didn't even know me. I didn't know him. And now, I'm a big fan. Back all of his
Billy's
campaign.
a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he has a great heart. And he likes to talk.
Why do you think we get along so well?
That's the thing, getting to hang out with people at the con and just learn from them, pick their brain. And, when you meet good people that are willing to talk and share and uplift each other, it is so empowering. And, I gained so much from C2E2. And I was just hanging out with folks and doing interviews and stuff and, getting to meet people for the first time in person that I've been friends with online and doing podcasts with and stuff for a long time. But it was so much fun. And I sat at like Henri Kampmann's booth for a long time, just watching him sell. And it's amazing to sit there and watch him do it. And he does everything completely differently than me. But it was brilliant to watch how he does it and how he turns this from being two people at a con to this is just me and you. And we're looking at this book right here. And he makes it short and sweet. And I know I'm bad because I'm a talker about getting stuck just talking to people. And, and if like some autistic dude comes up to my table and wants to tell me about his favorite TV show from 30 years ago, I will listen because, why not?
But then stories,
that's somebody plunked in front of my table, blocking traffic for an hour. And,
it happens.
I can't be mean. So.
I always just politely and gently can you just step to the side? You're blocking my table, and I paid to be here. Thank you very much. And that usually does it without a big stink.
At New York Comic Con, which was a travesty. I was trying to direct. I'm like, I'm not equipped to deal with this. So I'd get other people who did, and they were like, "This is the best we could do." I'm like, "All right, I'll just have to raise it higher." Like, hey, come check out the booth.
Yeah, New York Comic Con is a thing. I tell people all the time, if you're gonna do your first convention, do not make that New York Comic Con.
No,
oh my god,
oh no.
That's like number.
You want to get trauma. That's how you get trauma.
Yeah,
build your way up to it.
A number of people who went and say that was my first time and that was my last time.
Yeah. Yeah, New York Comic Con is something you build up to, and we've done so many New York Comic Cons, and I still get overwhelmed when we're there. And
just hearing the words New York Comic Con just it just gives me the shakes.
Oh my god. Whew. All right, well, one more time.
New York Comic Con.
Exactly. One more time, round table. Tell us who you are and what you do. We'll give that the ending. Katie, you start. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm Katie, half of the team behind the Script Heroes podcast, where we cover comic news, industry blues, and book reviews. Tune in. We post on Wednesdays and so often on Saturdays. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, it's there.
Yes, they are. Go. And if you guys want, you can go check out on Instagram. Easy to go find them. And then from there, go and find them everywhere they are. All right, Mr. Fish, go.
I am Mr. Fish from Mr. Fish Comics. I'm the creator and writer of the mighty call to Cro-Magnon, super violent love letter to Saturday morning cartoons. It is live for 8 more days on Kickstarter. Go MrFish.com. Bird Barbarian from outer space killing his way across the galaxy. It is just super fun, violent cartoon fun, man. Kill the bad guy, save the princess. Rinse, lather, repeat, man. It's awesome. I love it.
It's a lot of fun.
right up my alley.
All right, go ahead, Shattermare.
Yeah, I'm Brian. I am the president of Shattermarecomics, and we make comics, and I get to work with talented and awesome people like William and the other writers that we work with and artists to make comic books for you, the people. And yeah, that's about it. We've got issue 9 of Hardly Heroes out for sale now. We're working on Mercenary Guild, another fantasy book with William. And then something I didn't get to plug earlier, we're also working on a book called Victor, which is like it's like a spiritual successor to the old Mary Shelley Frankenstein novel, but in graphic novel form. So that one is going to be sweet too. It's going to be like mostly black and white with a little bit of shading, a little bit of like sepia tone here and there.
Some mood lighting.
Yeah, some mood lighting. So we've got signups. If you're interested, you got email sign up for Mercenary Guild, and we got an email newsletter sign up for Victor as well. So check it out.
And of course, you were just talking about it. Go ahead and say a little bit, Mr. Morb.
Yeah. You can go to themercenaryguild.com to just get on the email signing list. It doesn't cost you a penny. And if you do and you back the book, you get an exclusive trading card of our Elven Sorceress, Nicole. And you can also catch me on Twitter at Morb357. And you can catch me every Tuesday night at 6:50. I usually come around 7 o'clock Pacific time on Topic List, which is on Death Metal Heroes channel, or Jason Bascom's channel, which is called Unhinged. So they rotate bi-weekly, and you can catch us. We talk comics and it's Topic List, but it's mostly comics, and it's usually a draw stream as well. So if you want to see people like Luke or Shelby or Jason Bascom or Rex actually draw in real time, then you can catch that. And that's on Topic List every Tuesday, 6:15 East Coast time, or 6:15 Pacific Coast time, rather. Sorry about that.
You don't want to be there at the wrong time.
I know.
Convert it to East Coast.
And by the way, thank you very much. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be on your channel. I'm very grateful for the
you've been a lot of fun. No problem. You can show up anytime you want.
Okay.
Yeah, including even if it's the last 5 seconds, like I did.
Exactly.
I mean, you made it, and that was the most important.
You know what? You know what? Your timing was impeccable.
It was perfect.
I
could
came
not
on.
have been edited in better.
I came on and it was playing. I was like, oh my god, this is yeah.
So go ahead, tell them one more time. Go ahead, hit it.
Okay, so I'm back in the spotlight. So yeah, Phenomenova is the next generation of superheroes taking form. It's inspired by the legends of the past. That's how I choose to write. You know, I pulled from a lot of my favorite stuff. It's like Chris Claremont's X-Men. I even went to Stan Lee's Spider-Man, Marv Wolfman, New Teen Titans. I pulled from all kinds of stuff. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. And it's basically set 20 years after World War III, follows the idealistic son of a war hero who is setting himself on the path to become a superhero. But finds himself in way over his head. It's about the heroic ideals, and it's going to be an ongoing superhero series. So if you don't want to miss the birth of a new phenomenon, then make sure you join. You've already got 170 backers, so what are you waiting for? Hop on. And all the variant covers are limited, and every backer gets an exclusive free mini print. So make sure you back it.
Here's a question for you, because I can see that you've got your covers set up for this campaign. When you do the Kickstarter, are you doing other covers for the Kickstarter, or are you just going to go with what you have already?
So Kickstarter, I'm going to add, because I think they make you use but I'm going to have an extra cover for the Kickstarter. Okay. So you know what? I've been debating it. All right. So Buzz, I don't know if any of you know Buzz.
Yeah.
So he's doing the Kickstarter cover for me.
Oh, cool.
So
all right. Another reason to look out for the
he gave me because at first I was like, I'm not sure if he's doing it. Do I get a different artist? He goes, I'm doing it. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yep, here's the thumbnail. I'm like,
there you go.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I'm very happy with it.
It's good to get the audience.
It looks awesome.
Oh yeah, the book. I'm very happy. I can't wait till people see that, because I'm not even a huge variant cover guy. But it's at first I didn't get it until you start having all these artists that you're friends with that you're like, I want you, and then you start, and I'm like, all right, no, enough.
Yeah, you gotta Get it, pace yourself. Yeah.
Gotta
You
rein
also
it
can
in.
spend more on your covers than on the interiors, which people do. People do.
Oh,
I've
that's
seen
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Which you might say that's ridiculous. How could you spend more on covers than a 64? People do it.
Easily.
Yeah, I've seen
People
it
do
over
it.
and over and over.
The poor interior artist is like, come on, man. Like,
I
You
can't live
got
up
that
to this.
Rob Liefeld variant cover for a
I'm
book
getting,
that's going to sell 60 issues.
yeah, I mean, I did that. I bought a Rob Liefeld, and then I got it signed by him, and then I looked at the interiors. I was like, oh, that's not Rob Liefeld.
In a good way or a bad way?
I mean, I was not
Was it a
in a
Marvel
bad
book?
way. Yeah, in a
Was it a
modern
new
Marvel
Marvel book?
book, so not in a good way.
Yeah,
I was,
probably
yeah, I mean, I was because I love New Mutants. It was the 30th anniversary. It's like, oh, that's cool.
man.
And then I'm like, oh, look how
Nice.
far they've fallen. I love New Mutants. That's a criminally underrated series, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, criminally underrated characters.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at Jimmy Reyes to do my variant cover.
Oh, Jimmy, he was there for my launch. I'm gonna get him probably for issue, maybe for something. I'm gonna get him for something.
His prices are very reasonable.
That's good.
At
He's
least
a good
what he
man.
what he quoted me was but it's pencils and ink only.
That's fine. He's a good man. He is a very all my cover artists happen to be doing their colors. I kind of bullied Irene into doing her own colors. Well, I also am paying her, obviously. But yeah.
There's that too.
Yeah, so that helps. But she was
By
like,
the
oh,
way,
yeah.
throw some extra money.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of
the colors
helps.
for
No,
free.
she was like, yeah, I'm not doing that for free, which I didn't expect her to. Jimmy Reyes is a great dude. He was there for my launch party. I have nothing but good things to say about Jimmy Reyes. Great guy.
Yeah. Love that guy.
Mr. Nat, do we got anything else?
Ralph, we have so much this week.
Uh-oh.
I'm not joking. It is so much that you and I need to sit down to scroll through each one of these because Pat Chan currently has 2 Kickstarters going on. Then we also have our good friends at Fair Square Comics who has another book going on, which is the 3rd installment of Intertwined.
Yeah.
We also have a couple of other people such as Garrett Gunn and Good Boy series. We have Phil Franco with his series going on. Like, we actually need to sit down and make a list because I counted at least 20 and then there's like 10 others pending whether or not we actually have done interviews with them or if we just know who they are. And that's not including the artists.
Damn.
May is going to be a busy time for Kickstarters because it always is.
Is it May? Because I know March was insane.
Well, there was this piece of
Launch
advice
in
that they
May.
had gotten from one of the comics Kickstarter people back in the day where she was like, oh, May and September are like the best months to run a Kickstarter. So literally everyone and their mother now runs Kickstarters in May and September. So,
my God.
yeah,
Is
it's
it
going to be
because-
busy.
Is it because everyone gets their refund check
Probably.
and they're all just spending their tax refund?
All the kids
That
are.
man.
I wish that
Probably
was the
has
case.
something to
I
do
always
with
end
it.
up having to pay business taxes, and I have no money during tax season.
Wait, so why are you launching your Kickstarter in May?
I live in California.
Because
so
I
don't
have no
get a
choice.
bonus.
I didn't want to. I wanted to avoid it, but like it was the soonest I could relaunch to keep all of my other stuff on schedule.
You're doing it at the end of May, though.
Yeah, I tried to avoid the whole busy May month completely, but yeah, because I wanted to try and get 4 books out this year, but it probably won't happen. But I'll try for 3.
I'll do
always
your
keep on
I'll do
bumming
your
over
pages, Mata.
What?
I'll do your pages.
Like my comic pages?
Yes.
Okay, cool. $10.
Sure.
Go ahead, Mata. Tell them what you're talking about. That way we can
Oh,
end
the hell
this.
am I
Sure.
doing?
Yeah.
I'm so sleepy right now. I'm so out of it. Sacrimony, A Tale of Love, Life, and Death in no particular order. I'm on issue 7. I've been at this since 2021, and I have not slept since 2020. It is the story of a teenage girl who died, but then she got better, and now she has demon wings, and she just has to deal with it, and she's dealing with it very poorly.
And now
And folks,
issue
go
9 is going to be
sign up
done.
to get
by May.
notified.
Yeah, we're actually at 117 followers. I don't know why your page is behind.
Maybe if I refresh. Hold on, let me
Yeah,
refresh.
yeah. Let's do that.
It's
Make me
possible
feel
that
better
I
about myself. I was
I-
like, we
it's
He's gonna-
lost
he's gonna
followers.
crash the computer.
Oh no. All right.
Oh, that'll be funny. That's the last
It's
time.
like, I was 108.
There we go.
Yeah.
117.
So we're getting up there. I'd love to get to 150 because for those of you now tuning in, I tried to launch this campaign earlier in the year and I had to cancel it because like family emergencies, my dad almost died, everyone had COVID, it was like a whole thing. So but yeah, so before that I had gotten to 150 followers. So let's see if we can get this one to 150 again and make me feel better about myself.
And of course, you're going to do a pre-stretch goal if you get to the 150. So
yes, and I'm not saying what it is until we hit 130 because I'm an asshole like that.
The secret is I'm doing the pages.
$10, Nat. I got $10 with your name.
I could go lower, you know.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
Or we
I could
reverse
go
haggling
for a
because I like this.
pizza.
But is this like the cover is now way better than the interior? Or
I mean, we don't know what Nat's capable of.
Shots fired. Yeah, I mean, you could do like a stick figure cover.
Wait,
and
you
then
actually
the
haven't seen
expectations-
me do art.
No, I haven't.
Nope. And Matt keeps that under his tunic.
Yeah, Nat has some secret powers. I'm pretty sure.
You gotta see it.
You're gonna see my covers and you're gonna be like, this is absolute shit compared to the interiors. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why have you been drawing this yourself the whole time?
Oh, it's funny, folks. We are like 45 minutes over our time.
I am totally delirious.
You
right
guys
now.
are loving this because you guys just keep adding people. Well, the more we talk, the more people show up to the show.
We almost
I mean,
really
Son of a
bunched it.
Saint.
We were missing
Oh yeah,
one.
Ralph, you're forgetting. Son of a Saint also has a Kickstarter going on.
Oh yeah, Saint
Oh, that's right.
Cul-de-sac.
Son of a Saint does have a Kickstarter going on. It's a beautiful little Kickstarter. It's the cul-de-sac. Satan's cul-de-sac. And he did a fantastic cover for that. You guys should go check that out.
It is a great cover. I love it.
Oh, dude. And I think that's everything, folks. It was probably a lot more stuff that we can do on Monday.
We're gonna sit down and talk.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, everyone make sure to follow me on the socials as well. Everyone follow. I'm sure everyone has socials too. Imagine.
What are socials?
I'm very anti.
Something of necessary evil. Necessary evil when you're in the indie comic scene.
Very
had-
well said.
My artist is like, oh, I unplugged from socials. And it's like, man, that must be nice.
Yeah.
Although
I don't have that
need
kind of name to be able to do that yet. That would be
My
really
artist,
nice.
it. Man, a mystery. I don't know that
If
I
I
could
could
though.
just make books, I would be so happy.
my artist
Yeah,
and my
right.
evil publisher maybe get a Twitter account.
What is Twitter?
Publishers,
sir?
man.
All I'm aware of
What's
is
sucking
X.
leeches? I mean, I'm just-
All I know is X, formerly known as Twitter.
No, we
Twitter
still
is
call
Twitter.
it Twitter in this house. Yeah.
I don't think anyone calls it X.
No.
Oh no!
No, it's
now
always got
all
that
news-
incredibly comedic parenthesis.
well, then what do you call it?
If you hear any modern news publication now, they actually have been bullied into actually saying X.
Oh wow.
It still says twitter.com as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
it is.
URL. So
It is.
And it's
Never-
still on my computer. It still has like the bird icon too on my little shortcut thing. So
And of
the
course,
bird will
people are
never die.
still joining us as we keep talking.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that, folks, I'll do what I always do here on the Written Writ. I'll press the button, and where it stops.